Beyond the rim of the mapped galaxy lay a region known among the many species as cruel space, where stars burned dim and physics behaved in strange ways, and where no known civilization had survived for long. Most species believed cruel space was cursed, yet long ago a small and overlooked species called humans had been born within it and had endured when the greater galactic council finally detected signals from cruel space. Expected ruins or mad echoes. Instead, they found organized fleets and controlled energy patterns that should not exist in such a hostile zone. This discovery sent waves of concern through every advanced empire, because if any species could live in cruel space, and that species had grown under pressures. No one else could imagine the first human ships that emerged from the dark were small compared to galactic dread vessels. Yet they were dense and carried unusual energy shields that held steady even when exposed to radiation that could strip matter. Apart, observers from many worlds gathered to witness what they thought would be the quick destruction of these strange newcomers. A tall being named Laro, who served as an envoy for the council, watched in disbelief as human ships maneuvered with sharp precision through gravitational storms that would crush ordinary craft. Laro realized that these beings had mastered conditions that would cripple others, and that alone made them dangerous. The council ordered a test engagement under the excuse of a border conflict to see how humans would respond. A fleet from a dominant empire moved to block human exploration routes, expecting fear or retreat instead. The human fleet advanced in tight formation, and their vessels glowed with controlled power as they entered combat range. No hesitation was seen, and no distress signals were sent. The first exchange of fire filled space with violent energy, but human shields absorbed the blasts, while their return strikes cut through enemy hulls with surprising efficiency. Each human shot was calculated and precise, as if guided by a calm mind in the middle of chaos. Laro could only stare as ship after ship from the attacking fleet was disabled, not destroyed, but left drifting powerless. The humans were not just strong, they were disciplined. This outcome forced the council to reconsider their view, and soon they demanded a formal meeting. A human diplomat named Aaron was chosen to speak, though he wore no extravagant symbols of power, just a simple uniform. When Aaron stood before the gathered species, he showed no fear, even though dozens of alien eyes studied him. He explained that humans had grown in cruel space, where survival required adaptation and cooperation beyond what others knew in cruel space. Aaron said every breath was a battle, and every day tested the limits of the body and mind. Humans learned to push through pain and to use every resource with care. Some council members doubted him and believed the humans were exaggerating to prove their point. A powerful faction demanded a trial by combat in a simulated war zone designed to mimic extreme conditions. Humans agreed and sent a small task force into the virtual battlefield. The simulation unleashed gravity shifts energy storms and hostile forces far stronger than those used in normal tests. Many alien observers expected the humans to break under such pressure. Instead, the human units adapted in real-time, shifting tactics and using the environment to their advantage. They turned energy storms into cover and used gravity wells to trap enemy units. Within moments, the simulated opposition was overwhelmed. The council was forced to admit that humans were not just survivors of cruel space, but masters of IS. However, not all species accepted this truth. A militant empire feared that humans would upset the balance of power and launched a real attack on a human outpost. The strike was sudden and brutal, and the outpost was isolated far from support, yet the humans held. Their ground day commander, named Hale, led the defense and ordered every available unit to form a layered shield. Even as enemy fire rained down, Hale kept the defenders focused and calm. Human fighters launched in waves, weaving through explosions and striking enemy weak points. Every loss was met with renewed resolve. Attackers had expected easy victory, but instead found themselves trapped in a war of attrition that favored the humans. After hours of fighting, the militant fleet was forced to retreat. News of this spread quickly and changed how the galaxy viewed humans. No longer were they seen as fragile newcomers, but as a force shaped by the harshest cradle imaginable. Laro reflected on how cruel space had forged these beings into something unique. Where others saw only danger, humans saw a challenge in The months that followed, humans began to form alliances, offering their expertise in navigating hostile regions. They helped other species explore areas once thought impossible. To reach through cooperation, they earned respect and trust. Even former enemies recognized the value of human resilience. Yet, humans did not seek domination. They sought understanding and a place among the stars. Aaron returned to the council with proposals. For shared research and defense, he spoke of a future where the lessons of cruel space could protect all. Some still feared human potential, but many more saw hope in it. Species that had survived the unthinkable could help others face their own. TRIALSA's time-past human technology-influenced galactic design ships became sturdier, and strategies more adaptive. Cruel space no longer seemed like a curse, but a distant teacher that had shaped a remarkable people. Laro often watched human crews at work and saw not arrogance but quiet determination. They carried the weight of their harsh origin with humility. One distant system, a new threat emerged that even the strongest empires struggled to face. An ancient force awakened and began consuming entire worlds. The council turned to humans for help. They knew now that if anyone could stand against such darkness, it would be those born in cruel space. Hail led a joint fleet into the danger zone, guiding alien allies through deadly anomalies. Human tactics kept the fleet intact as they approached the threat. When battle was joined, it was fierce and unforgiving. The ancient force unleashed waves of destructive energy. Human shields held, and their weapons struck with relentless focus. They fought not with rage, but with steady purpose. Allied ships followed their lead, and together they pushed back the enemy. After a long struggle, the threat was contained, and the galaxy was saved. In the aftermath, many species praised the humans as heroes. Yet the humans themselves spoke only of teamwork and preparation. Aaron reminded the council that its cruel space had taught them that no one survived alone. Strength came from unity and from never giving up. The galaxy had learned a powerful lesson. Out of the most unforgiving place had come a people who could defy the unthinkable. Land as the stars continued to shine, humans moved forward, not as conquerors, but as guardians, shaped by the harshest of beginnings and driven by the will to endure.